Firstly, we're all learning together, as you made the point.
Definitely.
And none of us know the answers. So if we all learn together and we all learn at the same speed, that's just nice. It's nice to have a community. It's nice to have questions, people to ask. I don't know everything. Far from it. There's a load of things I'll be dead wrong on. Some things I'll miss entirely. It's not my job. My job is to set everybody in the right course and let's figure out. That's why I speak to people like Yatsui about what he's seeing, or I just got off the phone with John Woo from Avalanche, and I spoke to Anatoly from Solana, and I'm so privileged in getting to speak to people. And if I can share my learning as I'm chatting to these people saying, hey, what the fuck's going on in your ecosystem? How does this work? How are you seeing network adoption? How are you thinking about the future? What opportunities are you seeing? And everyone can watch over my shoulder, then we all go together. And then the Ask Me Anythings are a way of us being able to chat about it.
Right.
You know, that's the joy of this thing. And as you said with the railroad, with the oil stocks, and it was the same with the railroad stocks, these were really important networks that got built.
Yeah.
Tons of stuff failed. There was tons of excess speculation. The United States would not be the United States without the railroad network or the oil network or the phone networks. So this is how big these things are. And let's figure out where the main opportunities may lie, because this one, unlike those, the average person can participate in on a pretty much equal footing because you're part of the network by owning a token.
Yeah,
and that doesn't even take into account NFTs and all of the changes that smart contracts bring, which is a whole nother mind-expanding world out there.
Yeah, we haven't even touched on Web3 and some aspects of DeFi yet. But, you know, it really is an extraordinary privilege to get to have these conversations with some of the most brilliant minds in the world. And as you said, you know, it's so liberating to be able to say, you know what, I don't have all the answers. We don't have all the answers. Nobody has all the answers. And that is so much about what we're interested in doing in Real Vision, is just to explore those conversations with different people from different perspectives who can give some context on the way they see the world from where they sit.
Exactly right. And the way that I form an opinion, and everybody should, is you listen to a lot of broad-based opinions. Sure, you can take the crackpots off from either side, but listen to a broad base of opinions. You know, like there's some really interesting opinions on why the ETH merge might be a mistake. You don't ignore them. You take them on board. And then you weight them yourself. How important is that to me? Not sure, very important. This is terrifying. I don't really care. That's okay. But having people's opposite opinions, differences, nuances, it's really important with a macro scenario. Just because I tell you what I think doesn't mean I'm right. But once you listen to a bunch of people, you can start formulating your own opinion, saying, you know, this is what makes the most sense versus what I'm seeing and thinking, and therefore I can have these set of outcomes and actions. That's what Real Vision is really all about. You know, most other podcasts are one show host. And so you're getting one person's opinion. We're not that at all. We are the conduit for learning. You know, we've even started in many of the videos now to even give the key takeaways, explain what you're going to get out of the video, to simplify them. And you do a great job of simplifying stuff as we go, because people are at different levels in their understanding. You know, some people speak fluent macro and other people think that I'm speaking complete voodoo. And that's okay, I probably am, but you know.
And the same thing too on the tech side, right? Even if you're someone, yeah, I mean, it's just, there's so much material, so much density, so much going on. So Raoul, in that spirit of bringing the community in, what do you say? Should we jump in and hit some questions? We get a lot of them. They're coming in from every sort of type of social media, email, lots of stuff coming in from the from some of our, yeah, let's do it. So the first one comes to us from Emric, and the question is, crypto went risk off when global M2 started dropping. Obviously, this is a macro question. We expect crypto will go to risk on when global M2 turns around. How can the average crypto investor monitor global M2 to see this turnaround as it happens? And this is one of our pro crypto members who asked this question on the Discord.
It basically lags ISM by about 9 months, inverted. So ISM going down, what does that say? It says that the probability of stimulus in the future is going up because the economy is slowing down. So basically about 9 months ago, ISM peaks and starts going down. So that tells you that in 9 months' time, i.e. about now, we should start to see a turn of stimulus. Do we see any evidence of that? Well, in Europe, they're starting to do stimulus, but it's in this direct handout stimulus pattern that I've talked about in the past, which is, hey, listen, you guys are getting killed on your electricity bills. Let us help you. It's still stimulus. You know, it's not central bank printing yet, but the stimulus coming into the system, and it's happening in China. It's happening in Europe. The Japanese are doing something different. They are expanding the balance sheet by buying JGBs and devaluing their currency. It's called yield curve control. The US, many states have given out handouts to pay for electricity bills. So at the margin, things are changing. The bond market's still thrashing around trying to figure this out because the quantitative tightening is confusing the picture for bonds, because bond liquidity is ultra low, as bad as it was. Well, not yet as bad, but it's the second worst it's been since the global financial crisis. So there's an issue going on there. But generally speaking, if I look at things like forward break-even rates, they're telling us inflation is kind of in free fall right now. So those are all of the things that will tell us this. But ISM 9 months forwards, so as long as ISM is falling fast, the probability goes up. I looked back and found that every single time the ISM crossed 50 to the downside, the Fed stopped or cut. Stopped hiking or cut. They only stopped hiking once, which was 2016. Every single other time they cut soon after. Now, because of this inflation narrative that's left, I don't think they cut immediately, but I think they stop pretty fast. As soon as they see the economy imploding, unemployment ticks up. So they're all the same kind of indicators. M2 is just another way of expressing it, which is economic growth bad, needs to get stimulated.